Welcome to this week's live Q&A in the INFX or INFJ INFP development group. What a joy it is to be spending this time with you today and just getting to do our personal development work a little bit more. So just before we start, what I'd like you to do today is I would like you to start thinking towards this month. You know, we're kind of nearly halfway through June. Start thinking about the end of this month, you know, where you'd like to be in relation to your own personal development by the end of June, and then start thinking about July, August. I tend to do something which is I take like a quarterly or a monthly focus in my life, and then in terms of personal development, and then I learn about that particular topic. Now, something of course that's currently very on right now is racism and race relations and anti-racism in particular, and something that I've been working on over the last couple of weeks more specifically is anti-racism, and it's been very interesting, and speaking to my inner children about racism, I actually find out things and always continue to find out things about myself that perhaps are not as great as I thought. So I just encourage everyone to, you know, pick a topic for this month, for this quarter, and really study it. Educate yourself. Have those conversations with your inner children around those topics. Okay, so let's get into today's questions. First question for today is coming from Shelby. Actually, let's take Shelby's question next because it fits better. So here's the first question. When I was younger, I had such big dreams. As I grew up, I felt like I moved so far away from my authentic self. I really want to get back to me. My partner and I have discussed this many times. However, neither of us knows how to achieve this. I'm an INFP. My partner is an INFJ. Okay. Thank you so much for this question. If INF types are known for one thing, they are known for living a meaningful and authentic life experience. And a part of this is, you know, fulfilling the dreams that you have as a child. Now, some of our dreams, you know, get kind of kicked out of us as time goes by, so to speak. And we can certainly feel like our dreams are really clear as children. And then as time goes by, it's almost like we lose our dreams, or our dreams are diluted when we almost learn that life takes from us and breaks us down and puts us into packages and puts us into specific ways of being that should now be the case. And when we are children, we do tend to have a very clear understanding of who we are and what we want to achieve in life. And we haven't actually lost it. It's still down there, but it's often really buried deeply. And when I say we haven't lost it, what I mean is that our inner children actually still have that essence within them. And they have those dreams. They have those amazing plans. And what actually happens is that we as people get so busy in living life for the moment and looking out for other people and looking after other people and get into sometimes not so healthy personal dynamics with other people or relationships and so on, that we forget to have that and nurture and grow that relationship with our inner children. And then of course what happens is that we lose the sight of what we want to do for ourselves, the things that are important for us. So just to use a personal example, I knew at a very young age that I wanted to work with horses. So ever since I was 5, when I first sat on a horse, I can remember feeling, this is what my life is about. This is what my life's meaning is. This is what I'm meant to be doing for the rest of my life. So fast forward 11 years, I finish high school, and it's time to look at professions. And I decided to go to agricultural college to study equine science. So that never left me. I stayed so clear on the horses being the main thing in my life that I actually went and got a profession. I have a science degree in this field that I feel passionate about. Then I worked in the field. I went to work abroad. When I was 20, I moved to Ireland from Finland, and I worked with horses, and the horse industry is particularly, let's just say they don't have a lot of HR structures in there. Long hours, very little pay, physical abuse, in terms of abusing your body to get the work done. Like, just the responsibility in that industry for young people is just unimaginable. And I got a burnout when I was 21 or something. I got my first burnout, and I stopped working with horses. I had slammed the door on the horses. And I started working in bars, in restaurants, in offices, and so on. And then about 6 or 7 years later, I got my very first own horse. And I was determined to have horses back in my life, but in my terms, on my terms. And that's when I went back to the focus of the horse, because I'd done that work around the inner children and what their needs were and what kind of life I want to live, that I realized horses are part of it, but I actually chose to do it in a way that is right for me and not on other people's terms. So I positioned myself financially in a way that I was completely in charge of my equestrian activities, and then I took it from there. And what happened as a result was that I took something that was a childhood dream, which is to be with horses every day. And I made the most out of that situation. And even though I made the most out of that situation, it burned me out. I took a break from it. I got myself clear on within which parameters I want to have this fulfillment in my life. And then I went for it and I built that structure that allowed me to have that. And now I've had that structure for well over a decade. So the moral of the story here, and to answer your question, how can you start going into that space more? How can you start realizing your dreams more? Number one, get clear on what your dreams are. Get in touch with those inner children. Do your inner child work. If you don't know how to do it, if you don't know how to do the 4 people within work, get in touch with us. Send us an email at desk@infxproject.com and ask to speak to a qualified mentor who can help you with that process. And if you don't have the capacity to do that, then keep asking questions. But it's so much faster to work with a qualified mentor who can actually give you the answers in real time that you need. Second thing, once you're clear, once you've opened that way of communication and you're clear on what your childhood dreams actually are and how you want to actualize, like what are the things that are important to you in your life, then you start deliberately, step by step, building your life into that direction so that you can take control of it. So you not only need to be clear on what it is that you want, but you need to be clear on within which parameters do you want it. So I could have said, I want to have horses in my life, and then continue to ride horses for other people, where I have no control over what the other people do with their horses. Instead, I built it myself so that now I can be in full control of how I do it. I make all the decisions. But I took the time, and it took a lot of patience to get to that point. So get clear on what you want. Get clear on within which parameters you want that thing. And then 3, start building it. You got this. Your dreams are important. But also know that if you already knew how to do it, you would already be there. Which means that whatever knowledge you have right now is not going to be enough to get you there. You need to learn new things, become coachable, open your mind to new ideas, new prospects, new ways of doing things, new concepts. Talk to people who've already achieved what you want to achieve. Find those people, talk to them, ask if they'd mentor you. If they don't, because people are busy, especially people who've achieved a lot of things, they might not be in a position to mentor you, to make that time commitment if there is no financial commitment in reciprocation. So that's why working with the paid mentor is such a good idea, because you do have that reciprocal relationship. They will, that person who's already achieved what you want to achieve has prioritized your experience now and your mentoring now, because you are paying them a fee. So it's a reciprocal, balanced relationship. So that's what I would say to that. I hope that helps. I want to hear your thoughts on that, because let's continue this conversation. It's very important that we reach our dreams. And I want that for you too. I'm in a fortunate position to have done that for myself, but there's no reason why you shouldn't have that too. So tell me more on that. Let me know if there's any questions, further questions, if there was any confusion about what I just said. I'd love to hear what you have to say and continue this conversation.